You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Mike Olivas.
Hey guys, I'm pretty excited to chat with these two, Brittany Rouille and Drew Mann, who've gone against all typical business methods to create a life that they want to live in a van down by the river. Well, almost literally, but you'll hear more about why we call them Mr. and Mr. Adventure. Love these guys. Brittany and Drew, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Stoked to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked to have you guys. I love the story. Looking for, where are you guys at right now, actually?
Right now we're in Panama and we're helping our friends build a tiny house on their homestead.
I love it. I was watching some of the videos. It's like, how do these people eat better than me in a van? But, you know, that's pretty awesome. I'm stoked for you guys.
Not having a freezer sometimes limits the ice cream consumption.
Yeah, you're right. But at least it's, it's all healthy, probably fresh, right?
Yep, exactly. We try to keep it that way. At least.
Give us a little bit, tell our listeners something interesting about you guys, about your story maybe, and then we'll kind of dive into a little bit about the business.
Sure. Well, for the past 5 years, we've been living in vans. We've lived in 5 vans. Originally, we were going to teach English in Asia, but Drew's family had a camper van that they weren't using. They offered it to us to see our own country first, which was an offer we couldn't refuse. So we explored the US and Canada and ended up falling in love with the lifestyle and ended up kind of sharing our journey through first a blog, which then kind of transformed into YouTube, which is now what we share our journey through primarily. Weekly episodes every Thursday, along with daily stories on Instagram, just kind of showing people insight into how to live a positive, minimalist lifestyle and kind of embracing the unknown and what that does.
You know, I have a, probably not as an extreme story, but the Minimalist, I think there was a YouTube movie, I'm sorry, a Netflix deal on that a while ago, right? About minimalism. Yep. And I don't know if I overly fell in love with it, but I definitely enjoyed it and kind of went towards more of the minimalist side. I moved into to my yacht that I had in Orange County for the past year. About 7 months ago, I just moved off of it before I moved to Puerto Rico. And I'll tell you, like, I really enjoyed it. And a lot of people were like, Mike, do you need somewhere to stay? Are you okay? And I was like, no, man, I'm fine. No, business is good. Like, I had a yacht business for several years, kind of a second business of mine. I have a national group travel business, and that's what my main thing is. But and I do some coaching, et cetera. But really, in the podcast now, but really, that was really a cool experience for me. But wake up and paddleboard, right? I wake up to the water. And don't get me wrong, it was bigger. It's a good sized boat, so it wasn't like scrubbing by any means, but it was awesome. And I think the minimalist style, where it's like you can't bring everything with you. So I got rid of everything. I was like having people just empty the storage unit that I had on the side. I was like, I don't need it. Whatever is in there, I haven't even looked at, so just take it all, right? Tell me how you guys transitioned your life into the van.
Yeah, so that's an interesting story. We had an apartment smack dab in the middle of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And we were doing the 9-to-5 thing and wanted to just kind of be minimalist and be on the road. As Brittany mentioned, we were going to teach English originally over in Asia, and we hopped into a van. So we stuck everything in a bunch of boxes, moved it into storage, and hopped on the road. And that's kind of like our base camp. So as we need to, we go back and change out the gear, whether it's winter to get the snowboarding gear, like kite surf, and just all the adventure gear that comes with the travel.
Our storage unit's a little 5x5 foot thing, and we call it our adventure closet. So we actually do use everything that's in there, but you go in there and it's like our bikes are hanging from the ceiling, and we have our old dresser, but we got like our snow gear in the bottom drawer and other shoes in the middle drawer. So we're swapping out constantly whenever we go back.
I think that's awesome. I mean, you just mentioned something that's really cool. And I think hopefully listeners that have big houses or big apartments. And I think we use everything that we have. There's an idea, right?
Yeah,
there's an idea, right? And it's such a crazy idea for most especially for most Americans. I think you guys all see that now going across the country. I see it when I go to different countries, but definitely for most Americans, like, why do storage units exist? Right? There's so many of them. Like, you're
not a booming industry.
Yeah, you're not going to use that Thigh Master and that treadmill. It's just not going to happen, bro. Like, what are you doing? But it's so true, though. That's what's in there: treadmills, Thigh Masters, bunch of shake weights, like stuff that's just never happened. But it's the sad but true. But everyone's like, no, I need this. I'm going to hoard it a little bit in the corner, borderline hoard it, and pay money to put my stuff that I don't use. But it's a concept that sadly is one of the best, easiest businesses that people can scale on. By the way, is our actual storage units. So tell me a little bit about Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. Tell me what it's about. What is, you guys have created a business around it. Is it more of an ecosystem where there's viewers and there's also kind of different kind of, I guess, value that you're getting some of your actual viewers?
Yeah, actually, it's something that's been under development since we started in 2013. When we first started it, it just sort of was a platform for us to share with our friends and family what we were doing on the other side of the country, because we were living in California and most of them were on the East Coast. From there, it then kind of developed into, oh, now we have these people that we don't know who are subscribing to our newsletter. Now we are sharing with them how to summit Half Dome, or we're kind of giving them these tools to do these things that maybe they otherwise would have been too afraid to attempt without us sharing the knowledge that we had, which meant something to us. And then when we moved into our van and fast forward a couple of years, took it over to Europe, we bought a van in Europe and traveled Europe and North Africa for 2.5 years. We then felt compelled to start videoing what we were doing, but we didn't exactly know how to edit or vlog or put it together for YouTube until we got back to the US and we saw other people who were living our kind of lifestyle sharing what they were doing. We were like, wait, we can do this. So we started to do that. And in doing that, what we realized is that how we share just by being who we are seems to add a lot of positivity and hope to other people who are maybe stuck in a sort of lifestyle that they don't particularly love. And so whether they're able to experience freedom through us, or we're able to kind of let them see that they can actually do this as well. That they can just be a little bit more okay with the not knowing. And then through that, we now are feeling compelled to actually offer tangible things. Like beyond just wanting to inspire them to kind of, live their best life and breathe into their dreams, we want to be able to offer them something too, so they can really have, a deeper connection with us. And because we just built out the van that we live in now full time.
We have our dream van sitting at our storage unit right now.
Yeah, our storage unit is useful for that as well.
Nice.
So people love our van build, and Drew's been working really hard to put together a blueprint of our van build. So those
some digital products that you know about.
Great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have in the works a few different products. Right now we're redesigning our entire website so that it's not just a blog. We want it to be a landing page where there's the option for a blog, a store, a clear, direct kind of link through to our YouTube channel as well. So
YouTube's where we've really grown our business in the past bit. And it's been the most fun and most feedback two-way with our audience to give us feedback on what we're doing. And it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's also opened up the door for us to work with a lot of different companies, not only sponsorships with brands that we really align with and are happy to be able to share with our audience, but also opportunities with tourism boards, so we get the chance to explore a place new and kind of share our take on it.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you guys have a lot of different avenues of potential revenue and current revenue. I think the YouTube thing definitely is, you kind of hit something which I always kind of like to backtrack and remember what you said so our listeners can remember that being organic is such a normal, cool thing these days, right? And I say these days because in a world where people are jumping fences and taking selfies in front of jets, like it's such an important thing to see some organic approach out there that's just real. And I think that's why you'll get the viewers and the listeners. And I think a lot of times I had to get coached that a little bit too. Like, what do I say from this camera? It's like, just what would you say if it wasn't there? And it's like, oh, okay, about this topic, right? And so at some point we could ramble on, but at the end of the day, it's still you, and people will watch people in their real stories. And that's pretty awesome. I think you're inspiring a lot of people, which is awesome. So good for you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, people keep saying, just keep doing what you're doing. We just want to see you. Anything you put out there, we'll watch. So
Awesome.
when we sometimes are like, we don't know what to make an episode about, we're like, it doesn't matter. Whatever we choose, they'll be happy that we chose
This
something.
is me taking out the trash. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Brushing their teeth, like, yeah.
You said it perfect. People want to be relatable with us from those daily tasks, from walking out the front door to making a cup of coffee, taking out the trash.
We're just normal people. We just share more than usual.
That's right. And I think you got the power couple approach. You got the fun part. You got the adventurous side. And I think you mentioned it earlier as well, as like live your best life and being able to at least inspire people to do so. I try to do the same thing, probably more through the business angle, of course, but trying to build the life you want to live. And podcast is named Business and Life, hence why I want to have you guys on the show. It's about realizing that at the end of the day, life wins, right? And if you're just hunting money all day, it's not going to really be that fulfilling.
We both said we would do this journey whether it was the money or not. It's just been awesome to be adventurous and explorers together.
Drew also remotely manages a company, which has allowed us to,
of course,
figure out how to monetize Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. It's given us a little bit of space to be, not so much like Mr. and Mrs. Adventure has to be how we make everything. So it's allowing us to just kind of let it unfold into
opportunities to come to us.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's great. I think that's good for people to hear more transparency here. Like, does Drew have some income coming in and manage another business? Yes. Can someone else do that? Yeah, they can. Right. Yes, you can. Especially in a world where
kind of like as a budding entrepreneur, not leaving your day job while you build up your passion project on the side. And then when that financial bridge is made, then hopping across it.
That's great advice. I give the same exact advice to you. You're absolutely right. Yeah, you don't got to take the dive and then just freak the hell out, because then you're going to freak the hell out, right? There's no point. Don't do that to yourself if you don't have to. But, then sometimes people get let go of a position, or they realize it's just enough and they hate their boss, but then that gives them the drive and they're back against the wall where they have to make a decision and do something different, hopefully. We're going to dive into our guests' experiences in business and life after this quick message. Life Nation, are you struggling with growing your business and hitting goals? Or are you over the 9-to-5 grind, finally ready to take the dive into entrepreneurship? What are you waiting for? Go to MikeOlivas.com to set up a free, no obligation coaching call today. That's MikeOlivas.com. I can help you. It may be the best call you've ever made. Give me a little bit about what you guys are excited about right now, currently with Mr. and Mrs. Adventure.
We have a new logo that we're about to share, which I'm really excited about. We've sort of gone a little bit of like the cartoony-ish route with where our logo's at now, but moving forward, we sort of want to focus more on like us as a couple and sort of how us working together creates the inspiration versus like, I don't know, it's sort of like a more mature take on Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. And I'm really excited for us to kind of graduate to that. How about you?
I think we've also talked about expanding just from the storage unit and maybe buying some land. And I love building our van so much with the hands-on approach. And we did a whole YouTube series that was 20 episodes on it. But I've kind of been looking at the idea of tiny homes, container homes, tree houses, yurts, all kinds of ideas are budding. So that's like really got me intrigued with that alternative housing.
And right now we're living with our friends who are also YouTubers. And so that's been super inspiring for us. They make 2 videos a week. It's been interesting to watch their dynamics, see how, they're very much themselves. And we hope that we are too on and off the screen. You want that to kind of be the same.
They drove their school bus all the way from Texas in the U.S. all the way down the Pan America Highway to Panama. So they were on footage training themselves. It took them 8 months.
They fell in love with this town, and it's called Boquete.
It's ranked always in the top 5 expat communities in the world. It's called Boquete, Panama.
And we had never been to Panama, never met our friends. We just knew each other through YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, it's a small YouTube community of us nomads who consistently share episodes. So we know of each other because we watch each other's videos. But yeah, now we really know each other.
Yeah.
I envy you guys and I give you props. I've been a nomad for 2 months now. I'm going on my second month here until I go back to Puerto Rico. And then, well, actually, I'll be in Bogota, like I'm talking to you guys earlier about it, but it's different, right? I've done it probably before younger, but I rented out my place in Puerto Rico and I was like, well, why not? I got a couple of months of visiting family, things that I haven't had a chance to do in a while, but still honestly being just, if not more productive. And so I think that is pretty exciting for me to kind of I can't get a van in Puerto Rico because you can only go so far. It's like 100 miles long and 40 miles wide. So
Right.
I can go in circles maybe, but yeah, it's not going to do much.
It'd be hard to be stealth.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a nomad and just driving around in circles for 3 days. Well, tell me, what is your guys' end game with this? Do you have a thought process? It sounds like you have some really good ideas, definitely some angles on monetizing the audience and some different ideas on the little home kind of, and dovetailing on some of the stuff the hype is already out there. That's a no-brainer as well. But what's an end game for you guys, you think?
That's a good question. I guess what's unique about our journey is that we are open to where the unknown takes us. It's all about taking the next right step and following that intuition and having faith and envisioning what your next goal is and trusting that you'll have the vision for the next one. And I mean, we've had so many ideas for what the end game could be. Everything from creating a tiny house community or a hostel or
remote workplace.
A communal workspace / hostel or tiny homes throughout kind of the globe that maybe we rent out and live in part of the time.
We've always talked about if we aren't traveling, we'd love to bring travelers to us. And so there's a lot of ways by offering housing or unique communities, or maybe we base ourselves somewhere and lead trips. So there's a lot of possibilities.
It's something tangible, and we are craving something at this point that's stable. So whether, land that we find where we build a sustainable home that we live in sometimes and rent out, I think is sort of the next.
I think we would like to transition in a longer game to traveling part of the year rather than full time. Sure. The last time we full-time lived somewhere was November of 2014. So it's been some years.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well,
need a little more balance.
Being in the national group travel world, knowing that space really well, I think there could be a really cool opportunity in the itinerary world. And the itinerary world is something tangible that people buy because they don't know where the heck they're going. And then more importantly, Paris already has it. London already has it. Other places in different, Los Angeles has it. Newport. People have that. But places that people don't generally go is where people like nomads want to go, right? And if I'm thinking about a niche for you guys, and this is just my 2 cents because I love kind of just getting the boiling here a little bit, but like there's a great market for itinerary worlds out there where they're not generally at. So if you have a small town, you give people an itinerary, you can sell those things. You can kind of scale some of those kind of ideas.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful
great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We take photos anyway, so include a couple photos, do a little map.
Yeah, because people just want
2-3 days in Boquete.
People want convenience and peace of mind. And if you have a following saying, hey, if you want to show up here, let me know. I can give you an itinerary for X and how to break this down. And you kind of create relationships in some of those towns. Now you're not traveling as much. You can go to some of these small towns, build those relationships, get some kickbacks and rebates from restaurants and hotels. I mean, that's very possible. What national group travel companies do, international ones. And it's just like, hey, this is a Mr. and Mrs. Adventure like tour. And start getting tour guides in the area. It's a lot of cool, fun stuff, but you guys have a cool experience because you're firsthand experience and people pay for that. Yeah. Give me like out of all your successes and failures out there in business, I mean, you're seeing a lot of ups and downs and how to monetize, how not to monetize. We have aspiring entrepreneurs just like yourself and those that have large companies. But really, what do you feel you would give advice for from a business perspective to those that are listening?
I think just go for what you vision and dream with everything and calculate and say, okay, X is going to get me Y and this will be there. I think sometimes you just have to go out there with courage. And once you're doing it, an opportunity, doors just open. It's just opportunity kind of comes to those who are bold and take the first step. And we've had a lot of wonderful opportunities that have come along the way and great people we've met and some really neat projects.
I would have to say consistency on top of that, because you're not going to have a successful business or YouTube channel or website if you're not consistently putting new stuff out there, challenging yourself, putting yourself in front of the camera or putting that pen to paper just every day, every week, whatever it is for you, just keep doing it. And you'll get better and success will come. And feed yourself good thoughts every single morning. And until you go to bed, read something positive, something encouraging. Books are a great thing.
Podcasts like this one.
Yeah.
Mike, I think you've done 50-something podcasts. So, here you are, being consistent with something.
Yeah, you're sharing expanders with your community, people who help others, expand their minds.
And so many times we've heard your, counterpart of what you spend time listening to or the people you're around. And I think being around people that are encouraging and motivating really takes you such a long way.
People who are doing what you want to do. So us living with YouTubers right now is encouraging for us to continue, do better, do more.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna learn so much from similarities of people within your business. And I think you guys are hitting so much on just mindset, which is great because a lot of people on the show, really start breaking down. I mean, they're all numbers, business. You went from millionaires to billionaires that I've had on the show. And a lot of it comes down to what we're all talking about, which is consistency. Like you said, strategy, right? Positivity. It's kind of like, okay, well, is it cliche? No, because why are you saying it? And why is everyone else on the show saying I say it? And I drink the Kool-Aid of self-development all day. And I love that. Like, give me a 5-gallon thing of self-development Kool-Aid to my face. Like, that's what you need. Everybody needs that, right? Like, please. But like, it's hard to shove it down the throats of everyone's listening, but I want to, like, guys, get better. You'll be better. Life's better. Go have fun. Right. And so I really appreciate what you guys are doing out there. I think you're inspiring a lot of people. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to definitely follow you guys a little bit more on some of those videos. Hopefully I can see one of you taking out the trash. And if you guys, where can people find you guys? It's the website and also maybe some social media stuff. Let's drop some of that on there.
YouTube, the Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. Every Thursday we have a new episode coming your way. And Instagram, it's Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. And our website, where that's kind of the spoken hub, is mrandmrsadventure.com. They're pretty easy to find.
Drew and Brittany, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Liebus, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.